Hello, this is Jess coming in before we start the episode. I just want to offer an apology to everyone because last time you heard my beautiful pipes, I'm sorry. This fucking washing machine needs to inform the entire house that it's done washing. All right. So yeah, it's been 2 months since you've heard from us. And that's not because we haven't gotten together to record an episode. It's just we recorded episode 3 2 months ago. And then I had finals week. And then I had a lot of work back to back. Back to back. And then my computer broke. And I needed to buy a new computer. And that was about a month ago that I got my new computer. It took some getting used to. It's still not perfect for editing with, but it'll do. And then the rest of the last month has been me not editing back-to-back episode 3. And I'm very sorry that it took so long to get around to it. I'm very sorry that it's taken so long. I will get these out in a more timely manner moving forward. I have other projects I'm working on that I'm looking forward to, putting in. Just letting you all know for this episode, there's this sort of sound that comes along. We recorded it in my bedroom instead of where we usually recorded, which is the shed. The problem is there's a chair in my bedroom, one of those like office chairs, and Phoebe sat in it. And whenever she moves in the chair, you can hear it reverberate into the floor, and it sounds horrible. It sounds like this. So if you are not comfortable hearing that noise, you might want to tune out. It's not constant, but it happens enough in the episode to be a bit of a problem. So I'm very sorry about that, and I'm very sorry about taking so long to get this episode out. This apology's taking up too much time. We're moving forward. Episode 4 sometime next week. Probably.
Coming in anymore. Everything I want is just outside the store. I'm not coming in anymore. Got too many friends on the outside that don't include. I'm not coming in anymore.
Yeah, definitely be careful with like sitting in the chair because it gets fucky. All right.
Should we open?
Yeah. Do you want to open or?
Sure.
Cool.
Welcome back to Back with Phoebe and Jess, where we prepared something.
What do we do here?
What do we do? Where we watch episodes of Ed, and Eddy and Kids Next Door, and then we talk about them, and through, we apply a analytical queer lens. That's what we do here.
Cool.
All right. So today, what did we watch today?
Also, I'm Jess. That is Phoebe.
Hi, I'm Phoebe.
Hi. Today we watched Sir Ed-a-Lot and To Pinch an Ed.
Yeah. What was it? A pinch?
A Pinch to Grow an Ed.
A Pinch to Grow an Ed, yeah.
Yeah. What did I say? I don't remember.
Whatever.
Yeah. Sir Ed-a-Lot is... It opens with Eddy buffing a car.
Yeah, and okay.
At one point, someone asks him, hey, whose car is that? And he goes, I don't know.
Yeah, it's Double D.
Yeah.
He's like just buffing this random car.
Yeah.
And then Double D finally asks,
whose car is this, Eddy?
And he goes,
Beats me. Where's Ed?
Yeah.
So this is what I wrote in my show notes because I wrote these last night.
Yes.
Wasted.
So last week, we were really unprepared to do anything. So we decided, okay, we're going to do show notes this time.
We're going to watch them ahead of time and take notes.
Phoebe texted me last night and said, all right, we're doing these episodes, right? And I said, yes. And she said, okay, cool. I'm drunk, this will be fun.
Yeah. So I took show notes wasted. So here's what I wrote. So that's just like a random car, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark. Then got distracted, watched Jennifer's Body. Then I finished Jennifer's Body. I went back to watching the episode, and I didn't write anything down.
I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, but I do have stuff to say.
Good, that's good. The car kind of, it kind of reminds me of, we see this later, Eddy's brother's car that he has, but like, it only in like a vague sense.
I don't
it's
think
a red car.
I don't think it's Eddy's brother's car
No,
though, because
he would have said, because one, it's in his room.
Yeah.
And two, he would have said, oh, it's my brother's.
Yeah, and also, like, his brother lives in, like, a trailer park.
Yeah.
Doesn't he? Like, he does not have,
Yeah.
It's just
it's
a
just
random
it's just
car
a car
that got
just
parked there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he just... It's like, they did an episode of Friends like this, where there was just this Porsche parked on the street, and Joey was, like buffing it and pretending like it was his car, and then the owner of the Porsche was like, hey, what the fuck?
That's a mood.
Yeah, so, it's basically like that kind of shtick. Then it has nothing to do with the rest of the episode. Then they go find Ed. Ed is babysitting Sarah.
Yeah.
And they have to keep her entertained, or otherwise she's gonna tell their mom that, like, he left her all alone and he won't get paid for babysitting or whatever. So they keep her entertained, and what entertains her is throwing shit.
Sarah, don't throw stuff!
I want to also point out that when they're looking for Ed, they find like a bunch of stuff under his sheets, and they think, oh, it's Ed, and it turns out it's just the bumper of a car. Possibly the car parked out front.
Yeah, I don't know if that has anything to do with it.
It says AKA1 on the license plate, which is, I think, a reference to AKA cartoons who produced Ed, Edd and Eddy.
Yeah.
So.
I don't know if
but
it's
just kind of there.
I kind of think it's just like.
Because he has a bunch of just junk in his room.
Completely random.
Probably. Kind of like how I have a bunch of junk in my room.
Yeah.
It looks
We're
horrible.
recording in Jesse's room today.
Yeah, because my dad's vacuuming the shed. So maybe this has better acoustics. We'll find out. If it does, we'll record here instead.
Yeah.
Because it's a really tight fit in there, and I don't like having to ask permission to record.
All the Stitch little Stitch.
Oh yeah, thanks.
Action figures and such.
Yeah.
Funko Pops and everything.
My girlfriend calls them Fucko Pops.
Oh my god.
She refuses to call them. She refuses to call them Funko. She says no, they are Fuckos. You fool.
She would.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't she?
I've only met her twice, but yeah, she would.
Yeah, she is a menace.
Yeah.
I call her a menace all the time.
Yeah.
But I mean, what else do you call her? You know?
Yeah.
Because she's just that.
Dennis the Menace.
Oh my god. Did you ever watch Dennis the Menace?
I read the newspaper comics. I know there was like a movie or something.
Yeah,
I think I watched it once against my will. It was like something that was playing at someone else's house or something.
I think it was one of those like early 90s Home Alone knockoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what was the other one? Like Baby's Day Out or whatever?
I don't know. Yeah. And it was like, I don't know. There's so many like bad 90s movie adaptations. Not even bad, just like insignificant 90s movie adaptations of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Babysitter's Club movie.
Oh, yeah.
Which is like, yeah.
I forgot they made a movie of that.
It's just like, you know.
Don't forget the Garfield movie with Bill Murray.
Yeah, that was
Murray's.
Yeah.
Two movies.
Or wait, yeah.
Yeah, they were 2000s.
Was that the live action one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was 2000.
Where Garfield
There's so many insignificant... Why do we adapt newspaper comics into movies? I feel like that's bullshit. I feel like they're never good.
No,
like Marmaduke? What the fuck was Marmaduke even about? First of all...
Why would you make a Marmaduke movie with Owen Wilson as Marmaduke?
Oh my god.
Wasn't George Lopez one of Marmaduke's buddies in the movie?
I think he was a Chihuahua.
Like, oh, hello there. I'm George Lopez.
I think he was probably a Chihuahua.
Probably.
I don't know.
They always do that. Was he...
I don't remember.
Was he also Beverly Hills Chihuahua?
Maybe I'm thinking of Beverly Hills Chihuahua,
Wasn't George Lopez Beverly Hills Chihuahua?
I'm gonna look it up.
Let's look it up.
Yeah, I kind of think you're right.
I think it was. But I think he was also in
No, I
Marmaduke.
think you're absolutely super right. But
Let me look up. Okay, you look up Beverly Hills
40%
Chihuahua.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's
Beverly
too
Hills
many.
Chihuahua
That's
was
too many
not
percents.
that bad.
It's pretty bad. I only saw the third one because my Spanish
George
teacher made us
Lopez
watch.
is in Beverly Hills Chihuahua. Oh wow, I did not know that the cast of Beverly Hills Chihuahua was this star-studded. I knew like Mr. Mosby was in it from Sweet Life of Zack and Cody. But
an amazing get.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
George Lopez was in Marmaduke.
Okay.
He played a character named Carlos.
Mhm.
It has a 9%.
Yeah.
So it's worse.
Oh my god. See, like,
Could you imagine...
newspaper comic strips are not, like, meant to be adapted into movies. It's not the medium for it.
The Peanuts movie's an exception.
Okay, the Peanuts movies are not live action, though.
That's animated, yeah.
Yeah,
and they
keep
made,
the spirit of the Peanuts comic strip.
Imagine if they made, like, a gritty Peanuts movie.
Oh my god. Have you ever read Dog Sees God?
No.
Okay, there's a play called Dog Sees God, and it's an unlicensed adaptation of Peanuts.
I've heard of this.
Where they're like teenagers. I was in it my freshman year of college during the summer semester.
I remember you talking about it.
Yeah, I was edgy goth Sally.
That's cool.
Edgy goth Sally Brown. She was Wiccan.
Oh my god, that's a mood.
She smoked weed with Linus and then gave him a blowjob. Yeah.
I've got to read this. That sounds
fun. My grandmother was like, I'm going to come to your show. And I was like,
no,
don't.
Don't do
Please
that.
Don't. I give Linus a blowjob. Yeah.
Could you imagine?
It's like, I mean, not explicitly, but it's like fade to black, and it's like, we talk about it, it's obvious what's gonna happen.
That's crazy.
Because here's the thing, she's like mad at Charlie Brown, and he's like, you know what would really piss your brother off?
Screwing his best friend.
Fucked his best friend. And she goes, I am not losing my virginity to you. And he goes, okay. Well, I think a blowjob would still make him equally as mad. And she goes, all right. And then it never comes up again. Bert V. Royal.
Okay.
He actually went to the same college that I did it at. He dropped out, but so did I.
So did you.
So,
you're the next
yeah.
Bert V. Royal.
Yeah. Bert V. Royal is my fucking hero.
Oh my god. That's wild.
Okay. This is my favorite line from Dog Sees God. This is all you need to know about it. Is, CB, my parents would kill me if they knew there was a homosexual in our house. Marcy, there are 7 people upstairs on ecstasy fucking in your parents' bed. Relax. That is like...
Wait, and this is
a play.
So this is being said to Marcy.
Yeah.
So this is implying that Marcy is not a homosexual.
Yeah, it's weird.
That's wrong. That's a crime against
but it's
humanity, I think.
It's internalized homophobia. They touch a lot on internalized homophobia in Dog Sees God.
Oh, good.
We're way off topic.
Also, fun fact, I think my dad's home, and if he is, he's horrified to be hearing this.
Yeah. So...
But anyway, yeah, Ed and Eddy.
One thing that this episode really made me think about is, I fucking hate Sarah. Not from, like, even a critical standpoint of, like, oh, this trope is overplayed, or,
she's just an annoying character.
This is rooted in misogyny. I just fucking hate her.
She's annoying.
No one can join my tea party without dressing up!
Yeah, I hate...
Like, very much by design, but she's still really just obnoxious.
Like, I hate the fucking annoying little sister character trope.
Kid.
Like, it's annoying. It's fucking annoying, and I fucking hate her. And I always hated, like DW on Arthur, or Michelle on Full House. Michelle on Full House is an example of one, like, the annoying kid sister, but we were supposed to find her endearing and not annoying, but I hated Michelle on Full House.
True.
It was like, she was such a bitch. I like Stephanie and DJ. Michelle was always pulling some crap, and it was, like, adorable. Because it's, like, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, and they're twins, but they switch out, and it's so cute. But, like, here's the thing, though. I love the Mary-Kate and Ashley movies and stuff. Like, when I was a kid and stuff, I loved Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, but I hated Michelle on Full House. Like, I had all those direct-to-video.
The only one I ever saw was, I think it was called Switching Goals.
Oh my god.
Which was the soccer movie.
That was a soccer movie.
Yeah.
I can probably...
Mary-Kate, wasn't one of the Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen movies the one that had the pizza video that became a meme? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The pizza party one. That was one of the, like, they had that was one of the direct-to-video, like, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, like, throw parties and stuff. And that was the whole, like, the series was, they threw different parties and people would come to those parties.
Can you explain to me where Kazoo Kid came from? Is that Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen?
That's unrelated to Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen.
Okay, it seems like of the same caliber.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be, like, the same production studio at the very least.
Yeah, but just, like, same era, I feel.
True,
like, it's probably same era.
Late 90s, like,
early 2000s, just like
crap out a movie, I guess.
You know what? Megan Fox's film debut was a Mary-Kate and Ashley direct-to-video movie. It was called Holiday in the Sun, and she was like the bitchy girl, and she was like 14. And if you ever like watch just a compilation of all the clips, I've never seen the actual movie. That was one I never saw. But just watching the compilation of Megan Fox clips, it's like the most bizarre cinematography choices ever. It's just like characters will just be talking and saying random shit, and it's like zooming out and zooming in, and like let's put a Dutch angle here, and let's pan around the room and freeze frame there, kind of blurry. Like it's not even a good freeze frame. It's just like she's like moving in the middle of it. Like it's. I may have seen those video clips while not super high, but I don't, every time I watch it, it makes me feel super high. Like, even if I'm not.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
True. This is just padding.
Yeah.
But anyway, I had another thing I wanted to ask you about, unrelated to Ed and Eddy.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. But, like, what's your Onion on Cool Cat?
Huh?
Cool Cat, I think it's called Cool Cat Saves the Kid.
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, so it's like a very recent, like, independent, like, family movie kind of like that. It's, I forget who makes it, but it's basically, it's a guy in, like, one of those, like, it's basically a guy in a fursuit.
Oh, God.
called Cool Cat. And he's like the name, and he's like, hey, I'm Cool Cat. I'm gonna, like, and it goes around and, like, he, like, teaches little lessons to the kids, and like
some
he has a
garbage
nightmare.
is okay.
Yeah, and like, you know, there's a bully who's mean to Cool Cat, and he's gotta teach the bully to not be mean. You know, things like that.
Yeah.
Vivica A. Fox is in it.
Yeah, we had videos like that at my church, but it was a chipmunk, and he taught Bible stories. Yeah.
Anyway, we're really off topic. Anyway, everyone go see Cool Cat, because it's really funny.
Oh my god.
It's horrible. Anyway, apparently he's also making another film about school shootings.
Oh god.
Which isn't great.
Oh my god.
But I kind of want to see it just because it sounds awful.
Oh my god.
Anyway. So, yeah, Sarah's kind of really annoying.
Yeah.
Completely. Which I definitely get.
I also noticed there was a lot of, like, drawing attention to detail. I don't know. I just noticed Jimmy's teeth
are really
in both of these episodes really creep me out. And I guess it makes sense because he, like, has headgear and shit. And, like, of course his teeth would be fucked up. But they really draw them, like, individually spaced out. And it's just incredibly creepy with the rest of the art style of the show. Yeah, it's gross.
This is a spoiler for Ed and Eddy. But it's later revealed that the Eds did that.
Really?
That they put him in the head brace because, like, they knocked all his teeth out, pretty much.
Oh my god.
Which sounds about right. That sounds like a thing they would do.
Yeah. I mean, how old is he? He's gonna get new teeth.
Well, okay, so they're all in middle school, but he's like at least.
No, I feel like Sarah and Jimmy are younger.
No, they go to the same school, which is a junior high.
Okay.
So, I would.
But okay.
Yeah, so I guess like they're 12.
Yeah. Well, in this episode, it's actually established. We actually get the hints to their age. It's like the Eds are like 12. I think Sarah and Jimmy are supposed to be younger. Because, like, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're... Yeah, they have to be, like, at least...
Yeah.
More than a year. Like, because, like, they're...
Yeah, I think they're a couple years younger.
Yeah.
Especially if she's, like, having tea parties and shit. Like,
yeah, like, she has the mentality of, like, a really young child, but, like, she also goes to a middle school in later seasons.
But that is later seasons.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But also it implies that, like, they're of, like, the same 12 to 14-year-old section that goes to middle schools.
Or maybe it's just, like, one of those schools where it's, like, all together.
Yeah, but you wouldn't think it would be called a junior high then.
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyway, whatever.
I feel like speculating on, like, the exact timeline of Ed, Edd, and Eddy is kind of, like, a fruitless task.
Make Matt Pat useful and make him figure it out.
And who is...
The game theory guy.
Oh, okay.
He's garbage.
Okay.
He made some, like, really garbage transphobic jokes
Okay.
recently, and he came under fire, and then he was like, whatever.
Okay.
And it's like, shut up, Matt Pat. You don't know nothing. He makes a lot of trigger jokes, too, and it's like, come on, man, it's 2018. Get over it.
Yeah, I still have no idea. Let's talk about this episode some more.
Yeah. I want to point out, it's the first time anyone mentions Peach Creek, which is the city they're from. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just flew in from Peach Creek, and boy...
Are you stupid?
He never gets to the punchline.
Yeah.
She's like, boo, fuck you.
Yeah. Which, I mean, same. But,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I have a similar complaint about this episode that you did last week with the pool episode, the sprinkler party. Because you said that episode was kind of, like, all over the place of, like, what the story is of, like, hey, we're hunting bees. Oh, now we're, you know, really hot. Oh, now we're at the sprinkler party. Now we're trying to be cool. And I feel like this one kind of does the same thing of we're buffing a car. Now we're looking for Ed. Now we're having a tea party. Now we're having a horse race.
Yeah. I feel like thinking about that, like, Ed, and Eddy, like, a lot of the times... It's kind of usually
like that.
Yeah, it doesn't really follow set plots always. Like, it's kind of just jumping from one adventure to the next.
I think that's maybe the case with earlier episodes. I definitely know with later episodes, it's usually more like, here's a scam, and let's just follow them as they go through the scam.
Or I wouldn't even say plot-based, because it's not like there's an overarching sort of plot, but just like, this is the plot for this episode, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's Ed, and Eddy has always been very slice of life, but, like, I feel like with the earlier episodes, it's even less structured.
It's sliceier.
Yeah, it's sliceier. It's like a real... It's like when you order a medium pizza and you should have gotten a large, so you try to make up for it by slicing it in little skinny, like, little slices.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, what else do I have in my notes? I really like the line, at the end where they, like, imprison Sarah in timeout, pretty much.
Yeah.
And she says,
I am the queen!
You're a squirt!
Yeah.
Which I think that was a funny line, kind of. It's just like, alright.
Yeah.
I also like how they clean up the house at the end.
Oh, yeah.
By just drawing a picture, like a doodle.
They do a painting and they stick it in front of the door so that it looks like the house is clean.
Because they're, like, painting it, like, off camera, but, like, you see them using, like, paintbrushes and paint and stuff. Yeah. But then they pull it in and it's just, like, a crayon, like, drawn like, colored pencils.
Yeah. I just think these... 2 episodes, this one especially, it's just good cartoony fun.
It's very cartoony.
Yeah,
there's the bit where like a refrigerator gets dropped on Eddy, and then Double D walks out of the refrigerator.
Yeah,
I like
it's
that
just bit. It's fun.
It's fun.
I don't know. I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but I do have more to say about the next one.
You have more to say about what was the movie you watched again?
Jennifer's Body.
You have more to say about Jennifer's Body.
I do have a lot to say about Jennifer's Body, but I also have some stuff about the episode where he's short. That is when we get the
episode where he's short. That's all
That's
episodes.
all of them, but the episode where he tries to not be short.
Yeah, A Pinch
Well,
to Grow an Ed.
That's the one where we get the first, we were talking about earlier, where we get the first sort of indication of their age, which is like they're 12 years old, because he's measuring himself against the wall, and it says age 11, and then he goes past the space where it's age 11, and he hasn't grown at all.
Yeah.
And then he, like, pulls his hair up and marks at the top of that, and it's like, okay, I'm taller.
Did you ever do that?
No, I
me
never
neither.
did. Yeah. I never did that. I don't know. I feel like that's not the kind. I don't know. Maybe
it's a very
other
like
people.
old school thing. I think.
Yeah.
Because I've never met anyone who did that, but I always see it in movies and shows and stuff of like, hey, we gotta measure how tall the kids are.
Yeah. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, so he's really short. Eddie's really short, and he's grumpy about it.
Yeah.
And it's made worse when the cankers tease him for being short.
Oh yeah, this was actually, I think.
It's interesting that they're like, they're 3 for 3. I feel like they were much more like spaced out when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So I guess in earlier episodes they were just kind of constant.
I don't know. This has been my favorite appearance of the cankers so far.
True, because they're not annoying.
I just like
as annoying at least.
I just really like that, like. There's like nothing that can shatter like the fragile masculinity of like adolescent boys, like the teasing of adolescent girls.
That's
like I just
very true.
I
mean that stays true for the rest of their adult lives.
Yeah, or not even teasing, just general like being unimpressed, because he's like all like big man with his fancy shoes or whatever, and they're like, aw, and they're like, aw, look at him, he's got shoes. He's just like immediately like brought down a peg, literally, I guess. I wish I could use a figure of speech that is less relevant, so it wouldn't feel like I'm doing it on purpose, but he is literally brought down a peg. And then there's a real fun bit when they all like they make the shoes taller and taller, and they're like exploding out into or whatever. They're like up out in space. And stuff.
Which they do that a couple times.
Yeah, they do. I remember that because I don't think I'd seen either of these episodes before. So I saw
the
nice.
First part of A Pinch to Grow an Ed when I was a kid, but I never watched the rest of it. I watched like the first half. I didn't get to the shoes that were being made. I really like the part where they're trying to make Eddie taller, because there's a bit where they stretch him, but then there's the bit where they feed him the inflatable raft and they pull the string and he just gets bigger and wider.
Oh my god.
I don't know why that was just a really funny image to me. Here, eat this. Just vor this entire.
Oh my god.
I really like the part at the end where they all fall back down to earth and Eddie lands in Sarah's little baby stroller. And Ed and Double D carry him away and they go,
cute little fella. Hey, you know Double D? He's got your eyes.
It's funny.
It's funny.
It's a funny, cute bit.
Oh, we forgot to mention the man in dress joke from
Sir Ed-a-Lot.
Sir Ed-a-Lot, yeah. Because I'll edit that back in.
Yeah.
But it's not great because
there are some like just like
they look
expected sort of casual trans misogyny of like, oh, he's in a dress, how funny.
Yeah, oh, it's a man in a dress. Oh, wow. And they call him ma'am, and like, oh, hey, ma'am. It's like, oh, wow, how witty. These children are. I mean, like, they're kids, whatever, but, like, at the same time, it's like...
It's being written by an adult.
Yeah, it's being written by adults.
It's like, it's, you know,
it's kind of gross, but it's not as gross as it could be.
Yeah, I feel like it's, like, for a cartoon at the time, like, there was very heavily, that kind of humor was frequently
completely.
Like, yeah. It's not great.
Yeah. Do you have anything else to say about To Pinch and Ed?
A Pinch to Grow in Ed.
A Pinch to Grow in Ed. I keep calling it To Pinch and Ed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pinch him.
I don't know. I feel like I have something to say. Okay, here's part of the reason why my show notes are bullshit is because I started watching the wrong episode at first.
Okay, great.
And I took some show notes on that. So,
do you remember which episode it was?
Yeah, when we get to look into my eds, I will have some shit to say.
Cool. Which episode is that?
It's like episode 7.
Okay, we're a couple weeks out.
I have stuff like find a way to reference the movie Speed with Sandra Bullock. So by the time we get to episode 7, hopefully I will find a way to tie that in. Yeah.
Grandiose.
I was
so
just
happy.
like, these are stream of consciousness notes.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so I'll have a lot to talk about when we get to that episode.
Yeah.
This is gonna be like the ultimate Burt joke. I will find the perfect way to reference the movie
Alright, you
Speed.
have... Alright, we're on episode 3. That's episode 7. You have
4 episodes
to figure out the perfect
way to
perfect
tie
segue.
in Speed.
Perfect segue to the movie Speed with
Yeah,
Sandra
which
Bullock.
I've never seen, so maybe I'll have time to watch the movie Speed with Sandra Bullock. I've seen Miss Congeniality.
Is that also Sandra Bullock?
Yes.
Okay, good. At least there's something there. I thought you were just.
You know what looks so good
What?
with Sandra Bullock? Ocean's 8.
Oh yeah.
It looks so
It looks
good.
really good. I've
Sandra
never
Bullock,
seen.
Kate Blanchett, Rihanna,
Oh yeah. she's in
Mindy
that.
Kaling,
Mhm.
Anne Hathaway,
Name all 8 of the Ocean's
I don't.
8.
Fuck, who? Sarah Paulson.
Oh yeah, I think Aquafina is in there.
Aquafina, yeah.
Yeah.
Helena Bonham Carter. I think she's in it, yeah.
Okay.
And the guy from the guy.
Carpool Karaoke.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's there.
Yeah, Carpool Karaoke is there.
Yeah. I refuse to call him by his actual name. He's Carpool Karaoke.
Carpool Karaoke is there.
It's the late night TV show hosts are as follows:
Carpool Karaoke.
Carpool Karaoke, Mean Tweets, the Laughy Man.
The one who laughs at his own jokes.
Yes.
Let's just call him Jimmy Fallon. I feel like Jimmy Fallon. Like if you say it with enough contempt, it's sort of like
Jimmy Fallon.
not like that, but just like contempt. It implies that he laughs at his own jokes too much. Like just fucking Jimmy Fallon. Just like don't even say it like it's anything. Just Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon. Yeah, I feel that. Seth Meyers was good.
Seth Meyers. I love Seth Meyers because Seth Meyers makes me think of the SNL Stefan sketches, which were my favorite. Those were my favorite as a little, queer middle schooler, as a gay middle schooler.
Speaking of queer, I watched the Kalani redemption arc happen in real time as we were watching these episodes.
I'm not paying attention to that.
I was just going through Twitter and I saw, people mad that she misused the word queer to describe herself or something like that, and then she apologized and was like, hey, I'm looking more into how I'm gonna self-identify. I'm like, good for you, Kaylani.
Honestly, I haven't been paying
Kalani?
I don't know. I haven't been
I know a
paying
person named
attention.
Kaylani.
I haven't been paying attention, and people
today or
I know,
yesterday.
but I've seen it, and people are talking about it, and I saw what she tweeted, and I was like, that's kind of obnoxious, but
gay men are hot.
It's obnoxious, and it's obviously uneducated, and but I was like, this is annoying, but it's not. I don't think she's trying to be intentionally harmful.
No.
And then I saw that she apologized, and everyone's leaving her apology out of the this is why she's problematic thing. And I'm like, okay, so she's uneducated and ignorant and willing to be educated to understand why what she said was wrong. So get over it. I don't know.
And
it's just it's not something I want to hear about anymore.
I'm sick of call-out culture. Some of
I
it,
don't want to get into the whole call-out culture is a bad thing.
I don't think it's necessarily bad. I think it's just often because the whole thing is educate people, but so many people refuse to just educate.
Did I tell you about how my friend Nell called Finn Wolfhard a dyke?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, I told that story.
Uh-huh.
I'm not going to tell it on the podcast because I feel like it's been done to death. Yeah. We can have a brief mention of it and then just, like, leave that a mystery. It's our noodle incident.
Oh my god, what's a noodle incident?
It's a noodle incident. It's it's a phrase I picked up from spending way too much time on TV tropes in middle school. It's just something that's, like, vaguely alluded to, but, like, not explicitly explained, like, in a cartoon or something will happen, and it's like, we don't want another incident like that time with the refrigerator, and you're like, wow, that sounds like a crazy story that's left up to my imagination. Must be really funny, but they're not going to elaborate on it. Like in the first Avengers movie, where they're like, this is just like Budapest, and it's like, you and I remember Budapest very differently, and everyone's like, what happened in Budapest? That's a noodle incident.
We'll never know. We could ask Joss Whedon, but you know what? No one wants to.
Joss Whedon doesn't know what happened in Budapest.
And you know what? No one wants to ask him.
Do you think
he's gonna flirt with them, and it's gonna be weird.
Do you think Joss Whedon puts that much thought into the shit he writes?
No, of course not. It's Joss Whedon.
Yeah.
I actually watched Age of Ultron yesterday for the first time in a while. Honestly, it's not that bad.
I've never seen Age of Ultron.
It's not as bad as I think a lot of people remember it being. There's a lot of gross sexism about Black Widow, though, because there's a bit where she's like, I can't get pregnant, and therefore I'm a monster. And I'm like, shut up, Joss.
Ew.
You're gross.
I hadn't watched an MCU movie. Now, I'm not saying I'm not saying a Marvel movie, because I'd seen The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and I'd seen Deadpool, but MCU
my apologies
specifically,
for having to see Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, well, okay, to be fair,
it's not that
Amazing
horrible.
Spider-Man 2 has a banging soundtrack, and Andrew Garfield is like such a like Professor Twink kind of like realness. Like
Finn Wolfhard sounds like.
I love Andrew Garfield. But and I love the Amazing Spider-Man 2 soundtrack. It's just like
the movie around it.
The movie around it was like, I don't want to call it a movie. It's just like the like web of like unresolved plot threads around the soundtrack was like weird.
It's the Mummy. It's like the Mummy 2017 of the Sony Marvel films.
Yeah, but like what I haven't seen that, so I don't. But I hadn't watched an MCU movie since Iron Man 3. Then I saw Black Panther. So
a lot of the ones in between are really good.
Yeah.
And I have no Blu-ray, I just like up to you.
It was like one of those things where I kept meaning to be like, oh, I've got to see Winter Soldier. Oh, I've got to see whatever. Oh, I've got to see this one that seems good. Oh, I got to see Spider-Man Homecoming. And then just eventually, like, I never did. And I didn't care enough to make the effort until, like, finally my sister was like, let's go see Black Panther. I'll pay for you. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, I have Guardians 1 and 2. What else do I have? Age of Ultron, Spider-Man Homecoming.
I also hate
Captain America, Winter Soldier, and Civil War.
I also hate Age of Ultron, because if you say it fast, it sounds like Voltron.
Voltron, true.
And I really, really hate the current Voltron series, but that's some discourse we're not going to get into right now.
All right,
anyway.
So, I guess we don't have anything left to say about A Pinch to Grow in Ed.
Yeah.
I said it right this time. And I guess we don't have anything else to say about Sir Ed a lot.
Yeah.
So, I guess we shall move forth to Kids Next Door.
Yeah.
Alright, so I keep saying it's a seamless edit. It's not, because I put in, like, a sound to segue into Kids Next Door, so it's not seamless. So I'm just, here, we're going into Kids Next Door. Here's the sound that I always use all the time. Alright, cool, it's rolling. Alright, yeah.
Alright.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah,
So, Wikipedia tells me this is the order of episodes. Episode 3 is Operations N.O.P.O.W.A.H and Operation C.A.M.P. Everywhere else tells me that Operation C.A.M.P. is part of episode 7 or 9.
Okay.
Depending. on like where I hear it from. So I don't know.
Yeah.
Ne-
Well, we watched N.O.P.O.W.A.H and C.A.M.P. So.
Which I also think we should start like saying what the acronyms stand for,
Okay.
because we haven't been doing that, and they put a lot of effort into making these acronyms. So N.O.P.O.W.A.H stands for New Orders Pulverize Opposition Without Utilizing Hamsters.
Yeah.
So the treehouse is under attack by the Parent-Teacher Organization of Eradicating Youngsters.
Okay.
Which I don't know if we ever see again.
I don't know.
I like Midwestern Mom.
Yeah,
That was
I
fun.
really like that
That's
one.
a good
It
name.
reminded me of the Bath and Body Works candle lady. Have you seen that video?
No.
It's like several years ago, but it was like this woman who went to Bath and Body Works and she couldn't redeem her coupon, and she was like so mad because her like peach scented candle was like she couldn't get her peach Bellini candles or whatever.
Bellini.
I don't know. Is that what it was?
What's
Some sort of
Bellini?
peach candle.
Alright.
She was like, she made this YouTube video. She's like, I just got back from Bath and Body Works. I had the worst experience because I couldn't get my fucking peach candle. Bath and Body Works in whatever. It was like Wisconsin.
Uh-huh.
Appleton, Wisconsin, I think it was.
Wow.
Anyway.
That's a great name for a town. Appleton.
Something like that.
Yeah.
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 So I also really like the introduction of the the toilet man?
Toilinator.
Toilinator.
Yeah, who was supposed to be a one-off joke, but became the butt monkey of the series.
I really like that. I really like the ineffective sort of kind of just their villain thing. Because they also had that with Danny Phantom.
Yeah,
with
the
box
ghost.
And
Yeah.
I love the box ghost. I don't remember as much about the Toilinator and having as much love as I did for the box ghost, but I love the box ghost from Danny Phantom.
It also reminds me of the Condiment King from the Batman 90s cartoon.
Yeah, see, I never watched that one.
Yeah. Well, there was just an episode where Batman, it opens with Batman fighting the Condiment King.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm the Condiment King! And he has guns that spray mustard and ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
And Batman just walks up to him and just punches him and he's down. Once.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they're using a bunch of their electronic powered 2x4 technology to get rid of the Parent-Teacher Organization of Eradicating Youngsters. N.O.P.O.W.A.H uses a slingshot with a rubber band.
Yeah.
It doesn't work, and #1 scolds him, and then all of the hamsters that power the treehouse just leave for vacation because #3 told them to.
Yep.
Because of course she did.
Who did this? I did.
What?
They were tired, silly. Hamsters work so hard. They need a vacation. Hamster holiday, fun for all. Yay, scary party.
Meanwhile, the delightful children from down the lane are holding tryouts for villains to go get rid of the kids next door.
Yeah.
Including the Toilinator. And they send Grandma Stuff'em.
Yeah.
Who makes horrible sentient food to go after the kids next door.
Mm-hmm.
And she does when they have no weaponry.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because they do have weapons that don't require to be charged. I guess.
Like the rubber band.
Yeah, well the rubber band. Well, there's also they have that thing that that little wooden paddle that spanks people or whatever.
Yeah.
And they have I remember they have a gumball gun or something like that.
Yeah.
They have weapons. I guess they just didn't.
For the sake of this episode, they don't.
They don't. They're at the bottom of a lake somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Grandma Stuff'em makes them all really fat.
Yeah.
Except for number 2, who escapes and just keeps eating. Because that's how he rolls. Until the hamsters come back and eat the rest of the food. And then they launch her back to the delightful children.
Yeah. I gotta say, I did not super love how most of this episode
Was eating.
Was like number 2 like fat joke, but I do have to say it's better than
being delegated to the background and doing nothing.
Yeah, but it's also better than how some other like cartoons handle their fat jokes. Like there's no like sort of like, oh, he's disgusting, blah blah blah. Like it's not as inherently mean-spirited as some other cartoons who have done like similar things.
Completely. There are a lot of kid shows.
Yeah, I'm thinking particularly of Total Drama Island.
Oh,
just
completely.
Because like
Owen.
That's a big offender.
Yeah.
And
oh, he's fat. He's got to eat everything, and he's just farting everywhere. What a fiend.
And number 2 has more character outside of just being the fat one.
Yeah, he's also the goofy loser.
Yeah, but you know, like he's also
the smart one. And the pilot.
Yeah. It's cool.
He's the inventor.
I really want to talk about the camp episode.
Yeah. So
I don't have that much to say about the...
Let me check my notes.
But I like the one with the skunk.
I do like the line of...
Looks like number 5's gonna have to grill your cheese.
Oh yeah, I liked how number 5 kept, he kept doing these...
horrible one-liners.
Food puns, or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And number 5 kept, like, doing, like, a groan, like,
come on, man.
Come on.
Yeah.
Like,
That's not even clever.
So I'm sending this dish back to the kitchen.
Sending it back to the... Come on, man.
Yeah.
I don't know, some of them were like, okay, like, it's snack time, Fraulein.
Yeah, and she kept commenting, like, you know... Anyway, I want to talk about the skunk.
Yeah, let's
Bradley.
Skip ahead to the skunk. Operation C.A.M.P, or Children Are Miserable Parents. So, number 1 has the team on a stakeout at the camp.
Yeah. And they find a baby skunk.
What was the camp was called something like Camp Let Me Out of Here?
Camp Tom Kenny.
Yeah, the camp counselor is Tom Kenny. He's haunting us because Phoebe said she hated him.
When did I say I hated Tom Kenny?
That was in the first episode.
I know I did, but I said it as a joke, and then I immediately took it back.
Yeah, you repeatedly took it back, but it was still funny. It was really funny.
Did you cut out me taking it back?
No, I didn't.
Okay.
I left it in, but it was really funny.
Okay.
Yeah, don't worry. I didn't. Yeah. I did keep in the part where I told everyone to tweet at Tom Kenny and tell him that you hated him.
Oh my god. I do not hate Tom Kenny.
Of course not. Tipped in this episode because
he's a
child
villain.
labor. He has child labor, horrible things.
He's violating child labor laws.
Of course.
Anyway.
So they're on stakeout because number 1's convinced that the kids at the camp are brainwashed.
Which of course they turn out to be, but at first there's no indication that there is.
Like I said last week, I really like the idea of them being wrong and it's just normal kids at camp. So anyway, number 2 and 3 find a baby skunk in a bush.
Yeah.
All alone.
And they name him Bradley.
And
they start taking care of him like they're his parents.
Yeah, I think they named him after the Bradley Baker who voices number 4.
Oh,
and also the skunk. Also voiced the skunks.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's
he's
nice.
He's one of those voice actors that like just does everything.
Yeah.
Like Frank Welker. Like I'm gonna voice a character and also voice, you know, just an animal in the background.
Skunks.
Yeah. What do you love?
I love the skunk. I love
He's so
Bradley.
Cute.
It's just like
really
a cute.
cute.
I don't know. I thought it was a cute storyline.
Yeah, same. I really love the fact that like all the kids warmed up to Bradley.
Number 4, can you please talk some sense into these people? Say, the little tyke is pretty cute. Hey, he smiled at me.
It's very like, I feel like this is a common episode theme of like all the kids next door like being into something or gradually getting into something, and number one being like above it all until the end of the episode when it like ties into the plot and it turns out like, oh, the skunk spray like cures the brainwashing victims and stuff like that.
I think that's definitely a recurring motif in the show. It's
Yeah.
also, I think, a recurring story in kids shows of like, hey, we have to take care of a baby. Oh, being a parent's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
That was the plot of Land Before Time too.
Yeah. That's so true.
And yeah, the plot of Land Before Time 2 is also Littlefoot's sad because he's small. Which ties into Ed, and Eddy. It all goes full circle.
But we should tie more Land Before Time references into this.
Of course.
Like, as we should make an effort to get in as much Land Before Time tie-in references to this as possible. Like, God, I love the Land Before Time series. That was like my shit as a kid, you know?
Look out for our new segment on the show, Land Before Ed.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Operation Land Before Ed.
Yeah, that's... Sure.
God, yeah.
So anyway, number 5 becomes, Bradley's godmother.
Yeah.
Which is cute.
That was cute because they're like...
number 5? Number 3 and I were wondering if you'd be Bradley's godmother? Why, number 5 would be...
She actually seemed really honored and, like, flattered. It was really sweet.
I like it. I liked this episode.
I liked this episode a lot, yeah.
It was a nice little episode.
I thought it was really funny, the bit where, number 3 and 2 are bickering about, did you bring his bottle? I thought you were supposed to bring it. Oh, I have to do everything around here, don't I?
Yeah.
Did you bring Bradley's bottle, number 2? I thought you were gonna bring it. Oh, so now I have to do everything? Are you saying I don't do my fair share? Oh, just drop it, will you, number 2? Ugh, I get no respect. And with everything I do this, number 2. Get that. Bradley did the blankie. One of these days. There, is that everything? Well, I don't know, is it? Can we get a move on? Now look what you did! Oh, nice job, number 1.
Oh, you know what? Another one is the plot in kid shows. It's a SpongeBob one where they have the baby clam.
Oh, yeah,
It's very like... It was like that, except it's very...
Overtime.
Except in the SpongeBob one, it's obviously one-sided, whereas it's not that way in this one.
Because SpongeBob's trying and Patrick's, watching people get hit in the head with coconuts. That's a good episode. We should talk about SpongeBob. We should because it would go forever.
We should,
And we'd have to get into, like, the horrible episodes.
And we would...
Like the one where Plankton tries to kill himself.
Oh my god. And there's, like, too much, like, Tom Kenny.
Yeah.
Like Tom.
You wouldn't be able to avoid it.
Yeah.
Your closeted hatred of Tom Kenny.
I love Tom Kenny. It's just like, Tom Kenny is a great voice actor.
He's wonderful.
I love him. I like hearing him in other shows. Whereas the novelty of Tom Kenny is lost when it comes to SpongeBob because there's no moment of like, oh, it's Tom Kenny, because it's just like Tom Kenny.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it's... Other shows are nice because sometimes you're watching them and then you all of a sudden hear Tom Kenny.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, that's SpongeBob. But when you're watching SpongeBob, you're just like, that's SpongeBob.
I feel that. I feel like it's kind of the same case with Patrick Warburton. Of, like, if he's the main character, like, with, like, the X's or whatever, it's like, oh, yeah. As opposed to, like, hearing him in, like, a movie... Or
Patrick Warburton will never, like, not be Kronk to me.
That's true, yeah.
Like, I hear Patrick Warburton, I'm like, that's Kronk!
Yeah.
That's Kronk from The Emperor's New Groove.
It's Beater.
Beater. Like, I fully just, like, I don't know what Patrick Warburton looks like, but in my head, he's Kronk. You know?
He looks kind of like what you'd expect.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Like a very rectangular, like
very
chiseled
head.
Yeah, it's pretty much. He was apparently a character on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
He was like someone's boyfriend or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I never watched Seinfeld.
I only ever watched Seinfeld when super stoned.
Should I cut that out?
No.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm so glad.
Well, it's because I told you this story at Pride, right? I know I told you this story at one point. I think it was at Pride. I don't know. I was talking about so much shit at Pride. Like, who knows? I got shit to say. I run my mouth.
About an hour, like, after, like, of you hanging around us, Leo walked over to me when you weren't around and was like, who is this person who's been with us for, like, an hour? And I was like, oh, that's my co-host. And he was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Like, he was really confused. He was like, is that, like, an ex or something? That, like, like, you seem, like, kind of friendly, but, like...
Yeah, no.
I don't know. It's weird. I'm confused.
Just a bitch who likes to talk.
Yeah.
But yeah, what were we saying?
After
Fuck, I forgot.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because I used to go
right
over.
Now?
No.
Okay.
I used to go over to my friend's house, and because he was like really good at rolling blunts, so we'd always smoke weed at his place, and he'd put on Seinfeld, and we just get super stoned and watch Seinfeld and like make fun of it, basically. Like he'd be doing his little stand-up routine, and we'd like turn and we'd be like, wow, have you ever thought of that? Like women, am I right? Like he's so right about like women. Like it's just like wow.
I have the feeling that maybe he isn't right about women.
I don't know. Yeah.
You don't remember? You were high.
I don't know. He could have been right about women. But it's just that sort of thing, like, women be this, but in a very, like, Seinfeld-y way.
What's the deal with
women? You know?
They have a moment every month. What's the deal? Why are they like that? Why do they bleed?
Yeah, when women are like, oh. And I'm like, yeah, that's so true.
when women are like, oh.
I'm like, that is so women. He is spot on. Like,
when women are like, oh, whoa, what's this?
Yo.
Notices bulge.
Women.
X3.
Oh my god.
Alright.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like Bradley a lot. He becomes number 6 at the end.
Yeah. Does he ever tie back in? Because I want to see more of Bradley.
He does come back.
Because Chomper from Land Before Time 2 came back in Land Before Time 5.
Yeah, and then he came back for the TV show.
Yeah, I never watched that.
It wasn't good.
I gathered, but like...
They recycle plots and songs from the movies.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's really, like, it was cheap as shit.
Like the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. No offense
Sure.
to the Diary of a Wimpy Kid books, but it's because I read the webcomic, which was like when it was a
webcomic.
Yeah, it was a
web
comic originally, and then it got made into the books, and it's just all recycled plots from the webcomic with like slightly changed aspects.
Huh.
Because the webcomic was like crazy long. Or not crazy long, but long enough to fill like however many.
It was the Homestuck of its time.
Yeah. I love saying shit is like, oh, it's like Homestuck. Like it's like with no actual regard to like anything, you know?
No
just
regard to like quality or.
Yeah. No, like a Diary of a Wimpy Kid wasn't nearly as long as.
Or
as I've been told Homestuck was. I don't actually have any gauge to like.
I'm assuming it was also not as bad as Homestuck. Also, presumably was, because I've been told it was really bad.
The Diary of a Wimpy Kid or Homestuck?
Homestuck. I've heard it's really bad.
I've
heard good things from people who like still read it, but people who don't read it anymore were like, it was never good to begin with. And those are the people whose opinions I actually trust.
Oh, see, I've heard a lot of people be like, actually, Homestuck good. But like, it's
heard
like
much less of that.
But like, it's like when you go through like your Homestuck phase, and then you go through your like, oh, Homestuck is bad phase, and then you loop back around, and you're like, can appreciate it from an objective sort of nostalgic standpoint, and you're like, you know what, Homestuck good actually. It's like me with Twilight.
Okay.
You know, like, I read all the Twilight books. I saw 4 of the movies. I never saw the last movie. All the way through, at least. And, I don't know, the CGI baby freaked me out too much.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
But then I was like, I went through a whole phase where I'm like, Twilight is stupid. Like, Twilight is a stupid movie. Twilight is stupid. And then now eventually I'm like, Bella is a bull dyke who bottoms for Rosalie, and Edward is like a closeted, like, asexual gay man.
Oh, God.
Like, he's the world's oldest twink, and Carlisle is like a homophobe, like, Scientologist who's brainwashing them into, like, following these heterosexual plots, and that's why Edward and Bella get together, because Edward is like a self-hating gay man.
Phoebe's like, me, I'm not gonna start any discourse.
Yeah.
Also me. Anyway.
Yeah, but, like, this is, like, just objective facts about Twilight, and it's something that I've studied long enough to, like, know what I'm talking about. I just, like, at a certain point in engaging with media, I'm just, like, there's a point where I get to it where I know it well enough to be, like, I just declare myself an expert and be like, you're wrong. Okay? Like, like, at a certain point, like, you know, I'm just like, anything anyone says about Twilight is like, okay, whatever, but I'm the authority on it, you know?
Sure.
Like, if you
Can't say that I
disagree with
know,
me,
but
you're
sure.
inherently wrong, because I've put, like, blood and tears into, like, studying the Twilight Saga.
Have you ever read My Immortal?
Yes.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
My girlfriend is currently giving us live readings to my group of friends.
Oh my god.
Every time we meet
Have
up.
you read it?
I've never read it all the way through.
Okay, I've read it most of the way through. I don't think I've technically read it all the way through. I don't know.
She is going to read
The
it
most
all the way
iconic parts are, like, in the first few chapters, and then it gets really slow for a while. You know, and then convoluted towards the end.
Oh.
At least that's how I remember it.
It's always convoluted.
It's always convoluted, but it's, like, more convoluted towards the end. Like, they start time traveling
Oh my
and shit,
god.
and it's like,
I'm excited.
I don't know. It just kind of goes off the rails.
Also, throwback to the time that the writer had a falling out with her editor over a sweater and a poster.
Yeah.
And then the next, like, 2 chapters were completely illegible. Like, you couldn't even sort of read them. And then she came back because they made up.
Yeah. My Immortal is a piece of history.
It has a Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
It's great.
Should we...
what
have we said about Kids Next Door that, like, what else can we say?
It was really cute.
It was just a nice episode.
Yeah. It's interesting that there are no earlier number 6s.
Yeah.
Because, like, I know at this point in the show it's not established that there are other operatives.
Other
but there's not,
factions?
like, a home base.
Is that
or
what
whatever.
you call it? Factions?
Sectors.
Sectors?
So this sector is Sector V.
Yeah.
And there's, like, there's, like, the one on the moon that's, like, the main hub. But, like, we haven't seen any of that yet.
Yeah.
So I guess it wasn't established. But also...
And we haven't even seen any of the number, what is it, 86?
Number 86.
And, like, you know...
Number 362. And,
all of those.
Yeah. Chad. There's a character named Chad.
Yeah. No, I remember vaguely.
Yeah. We haven't met any of the teenagers yet, either.
Yeah.
None of the parents. We've met no one.
Yeah, we haven't met
babies in this show.
No. There's, like, no lore yet.
Nah. Except for, we have a skunk now.
Yeah. I really hope Bradley comes back. I enjoyed Bradley.
He does come back.
Good.
He comes back at least in 2 episodes.
Good. I love Bradley.
Yeah.
Big fan of Bradley now.
Yeah, big fan of his work.
Yeah.
Operation Camp. That's it.
Yeah.
Alright. Is that everything, or is there anything else you'd like to discuss? Like the movie Jennifer's Body?
I don't know.
Sandra Bullock's Speed?
No, we're gonna work that in later when we actually get to the Ed and Eddy episode that I started to watch and then realized it was the wrong one.
This was also the first full episode that didn't have the delightful children in it.
Oh!
Every other one had them appear.
They, like...
They were in N.O.P.O.W.A.H, but
not in camp.
They weren't in camp.
They weren't in Kenny and the Chimp.
No. Well, the first full episode, not including
Wait, what
pilots.
about the pool episode?
Not including pilots.
Oh.
Of, like, the full, like, actual, like full production budget type episodes.
Yeah, because they were definitely not in
P
and the Ool.
But they were in Caked, Ice Cream, and, what was the other one? Cannon. The Clam Cannon one.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Alright, yeah.
Alright, yeah, I guess that's everything.
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Yeah.
Anything you want to, like, plug or, have mention on the N.O.P.O.W.A.H for the week? I'm seeing Infinity War this Thursday. I'm very much looking forward to it.
I rented Jennifer's Body this weekend. Really good movie.
Yeah.
Diablo Cody was robbed for Best Original Screenplay.
True. I started rewatching Better Call Saul because I'm trash.
Oh my god, I couldn't even get past the first episode of Better Call Saul.
The first episode is very heavy, like, hey, do you remember this character? Hey, look, it's Tuco. Look, it's this. You know, it's very, like, of that. It gets a lot better.
Yeah.
It gets a lot.
I know, but I honestly, like, don't have the energy.
I feel
you know?
that. Mm-hmm. It's definitely, like, a good binge show, I think.
Yeah. It was like, I tried it while I was still on the high for my Breaking Bad binge, and then it just brought me down. And I can't ever imagine, like, revisiting that spark of, like...
I honestly like it more than Breaking Bad.
Mm.
Personally, just because
loved...
Breaking Bad is wonderful, but I think Walter White is completely unlikable as a character.
Oh, yeah.
Jimmy on Better Call Saul is way more likable, because you just feel bad for the poor guy. He's such a loser.
But, like...
You kind of want to root for this sleazy scumbag lawyer.
I love Jesse Pinkman.
He's so great. Jesse
Pinkman carried Breaking Bad
completely.
For me. Well, Bryan Cranston carried Breaking Bad, but Walter White as a character was... Yeah. Like, Bryan Cranston's acting and, like, comedic timing mixed with, like, actual dramatic acting chops, like, really carried Breaking Bad, but, like, just character and storytelling-wise, I really think, like, Jesse Pinkman was, like, the heart of... I don't know. I really... Like, Jesse Pinkman was the character who carried me through Breaking Bad.
Mm-hmm.
I also really love Skylar White. You know, like, it's very...
I really hate all the people who are like, Skylar White's such a bitch. It's like...
Skylar White, I thought, like, watching it, I was like, oh, she's not... I mean, she's a little, like, naggy wife, but she's not that bad, but maybe she gets worse. And then she didn't get worse. And then I looked it up, and most people were like, oh, yeah, she's the worst at the beginning. And I'm like, she wasn't even that bad at the beginning.
Yeah.
And then by the final season... It's just like, honey, please stop cooking meth. And he's like, fuck you. Spits in her face.
Pretty
and
much.
They're like, oh, what a fucking cunt. Yeah.
I'll beat that one out.
Like, it's just like, she's like, hey, we really can't justify how we afford this lavish, expensive sports car. Could you please return it to the dealership? And he's like, sure, Skylar. Let me, like, blow it up in the desert. And everyone's like,
yeah.
Walt is so cool. Skylar is such a fucking,
There's so many, like, if your favorite character on TV... If you're a man and your favorite character on TV is Walter White, you're a bad person.
I love...
Same
my
with Rick
favorite
from Rick and
Skylar White line is like, and once again, our son will blame his bitch mother for taking away what his loving father has given him. But you know what, Walt? Someone has to protect this family from the man who protects this family.
That's a great line.
Yeah, I fucking love Skylar White.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but my girlfriend has a really important message that she wants to get out to the listeners. She just texted me. Please tell the podcast listeners that Ed is a thought.
Okay.
I really don't like that she made me say that.
Which one?
Ed, specifically.
Okay. Yeah, I don't like that.
I don't either.
I don't like that.
I'm gonna tell her we both find that unpleasant.
I don't like that.
We both do not like that.
Yeah.
You should be ashamed.
Yeah.
Piss your pants or pee.
Yeah, oh my god.
That's my favorite thing.
Why don't you just tell me to kill myself?
No, it's so much funnier to say just
Yeah, I
pee your
know.
pants.
I know. I love Skylar Wright.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what I fucking hate?
What?
The episode where it's like, okay, like
they're going to kill the fly.
No,
I like that
no,
episode more.
I love the fly
Everyone
episode.
hates that episode.
No.
Director of Last Jedi, Ryan Johnson, directed that episode.
Oh my god, fuck that.
It's great.
No, but you can like, okay, it's not just me. Like you can like pinpoint the episode where Breaking Bad went from like dark to like way too dark, right?
Was it the episode where Walt poisoned Brock? Spoilers for Breaking Bad.
No, it's during season 5 because
Okay.
at that point it was already like, it was when it was the train robbery, not the actual train robbery, but
I know what you're talking
afterwards.
about when Meth Damon kills the kid on the bike.
Yeah, he shoots him in cold blood because at that point, like, everything was to serve a purpose. And, like, Walt didn't even,
He's just
like...
a monster.
Walt didn't even, like, attempt... Like, he didn't try to kill Brock. He just tried to... Like, it was never his intention to kill...
Just enough.
Yeah, it was never his intention to kill the kid. He just needed to, like, get him enough to make...
Jesse believe that Gus was gonna poison the kid.
Yeah, and so even that was not like, but like at the point where they just kill a kid in cold blood, that's the point where it gets like point of no return darkness.
Also,
I feel like Breaking Bad could have ended 2 episodes earlier. I know I'm not alone in that.
Yeah, I think it could have.
The ending dragged.
I disagree. I think it wrapped up nicely. I think it's harsh that like he got everything he wanted, but at the same time it's kind of, I don't know. I think it fits.
It's a very, like, it's
I don't
know, maybe it was just too dark for me at the end.
It's good to see all the Nazis die.
Yeah. I feel like at the end it just got too dark and too convoluted, but I really did like the part at the end where, the whole, like, I liked it, I was good at it, and I was alive. That whole speech, because I feel like it's, first of all, it's like the, like,
he finally admits it.
First of all, Bryan Cranston is, like, incredible.
He's amazing.
And I really feel like it's a cathartic closure moment between Walt and Skylar that for Skylar's sake I really appreciate.
Mm-hmm. I really like that Jesse got his closure and that he's not held captive by the Nazis anymore.
Yeah, I really hated that they killed Andrea though.
Oh, that made me so mad.
I feel like that was like the most unnecessary death, you know?
And I know his name is Todd, but I'm gonna call him Meth Damon because it's funny.
Yeah.
Because he looks like Matt Damon, but he makes meth.
Yeah.
And it's funny.
Yeah, and he's like not as cute as Matt Damon.
No,
he looks like
worse. He's
he
worse
looks
than
like
Matt Damon.
Inbred methed up Matt Damon.
No. He's yeah.
Looks like
he's a better person.
He looks like Nazi meth cooking Matt Damon.
Yeah, at least Todd hasn't given us his thoughts on the Me Too movement.
Yeah, wasn't he in Friday Night Lights?
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
Jesse Plemons.
I don't know his name.
That's his name.
I don't care to know his name. I wanna.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I like
Todd.
I like Meth Damon.
Meth Damon.
Or Todd. You know.
Yeah. Shut up, Todd. It's interesting that
Oh, that's true.
Jesse from Breaking Bad wanted to play Todd.
Yeah.
In BoJack, but also the guy who played Todd was Jesse.
Yeah.
I'm not the first person to say that, I know, but I still think it's funny.
Yeah.
I've
got to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Alright, so thank you all for watching. If you like what you're listening to, hit that subscribe button. You can find me on SoundCloud at JDanny, or you can find me on YouTube at Jessica Danielle. You can also find me on Film Dorks. It's under construction. Don't watch my videos, because they're bad, I guess. Or you can, but don't. Don't tell me that I called Sloan Sloan again.
Oh my god.
Did I tell you about that? In Ferris
Bueller's
yeah,
Day Off. That is so funny.
That I made a video where I said I kept calling her about Ferris Bueller, but I kept calling Sloan
That is
Sloan.
so funny.
And everyone's like, "Who's Slow Ann? You're stupid. What planet are you from, moron?"
Oh my god.
It's pretty great.
Anyway, my Twitter is now off private. It is
cool.
Ladybird Lesbian. I'm not gonna plug anything else because that I don't. Yeah.
You've already plugged your Instagram before. So
yeah,
it's too late
and
for
I'm
that.
not gonna plug my Tumblr because who wants in on that shit?
In the first episode, you said you find me on Tumblr. I'm not gonna tell you what it is. Just look for it.
Yeah.
You'll find it.
Yeah,
You'll figure
just
it out.
you know.
I do not have a Tumblr anymore. It's still there, but I don't use it for anything. But you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at I'm okay at things.
Yeah.
And I deleted my Facebook because I hate it.
Yeah.
I don't like Facebook.
You can try to find me on Facebook. I don't know. I don't know the last time I used Facebook.
True. Yeah, I guess that's everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, just thank you for watching. Swiggity sweek. See you next week. Good night.
Good night.
Oh my god. Did you like that? Swiggity
Yes.
sweek. See you next week.
Yep.